Legs broken. legs broken, everybody. Okay, so we should probably do like an intro.
Yes.
So, welcome back to Blind Drunk. Intro done. That's the intro. So I guess.
So,
welcome to Blind Drunk. Welcome back to Blind Drunk.
we get drunk and read books.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm just not taking it seriously. Hello and welcome to Blind Drunk. This is the show where we read right-wing junk and get increasingly drunk. Cheers. Joe, I'm just setting you up for these. I'm just giving you gold and you're giving me nothing. Introduce the fucking book.
So today we're going to be reading...
Show the book.
The second half.
Start again.
So today we're going to be reading the second half of William W Johnstone's Rig Warrior. And I, for one, I'm really looking forward to it.
Can't wait to see how this one shakes out.
Oh yes.
If you've not seen the first part, go back and watch that. It's probably optional because, to be honest, it's probably not going to make much more sense because, to be honest, it doesn't make any fucking sense to us. But a quick recap, I guess. Barry Rivers is a psychopath who routinely murders people and destroys the evidence, and he kills a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Okay, recap over.
Let's get into it.
So, let's get into it.
Folks, beware of anyone, human or extraterrestrial, that tells you to lay down your weapons.
Well, get him a husky, sitting on a stump. Hammer pull back on a 12-gauge pump. Watching that swamp, looking out for the law while they make the best corn liquor you ever saw. Run good whiskey.
I'm sure looking forward to that motel room and a bubble bath, boy, Kate said. She's looking forward to a bubble bath, boy. Oh, you're gonna get that bubble bath, Kate, but it's gonna be a while yet. We're going to, as my dad used to say, highball it, Kate. That's what his dad used to say, highball it, Kate.
We're going to highball it, Kate. I don't know quite why his dad wished to call it Kate.
But we're gonna be in Washington, D.C. 30 hours from now. That's no hill to climb, Kate said. Just put the pedal to the metal and hammer down.
Linda's got some explaining to do.
Wow, Kate said, looking around the luxury apartment. This is beautiful. This yours? I lease it, yes. One of the bathrooms is that way. He pointed.
Fuck off, you fucking prick! Walk in that direction, you'll probably find a bathroom in amongst my wine cellars and sports cars. Fuck off, you prick.
Linda O'Day and Kate Sherman eyeballed each other. I don't like this a damn bit, Barry, Linda said. I stuck my neck out for you and this is the way you're repaying it? When he spoke about his suspicions of Linda, he stared at her, never taking his eyes from her. I underestimated you, Barry, Linda said. I shouldn't have done that. You'd make a damn fine investigator if you'd quit playing with guns.
Yeah, because the FBI, they don't shoot anybody. The FBI, they just...
Yeah.
Oh, they're
so wishy-washy.
too gun shy.
Yeah. All I've succeeded in doing is making matters more complicated. For a lot of us, John said. Hoover is spinning in his grave. Now, ladies, Walt said.
Oh,
Walt.
Fuck off, Walt. Fucking patroniser cunt. Crap like this makes me wonder what kind of country we're living in. I've wondered about that for years, John said. Very much unlike the usual taciturn FBI agent he was. It was a replay of California and Minnesota. Same low block buildings, same warnings from the gate guard about not stopping or picking up anybody. Yeah, Barry said. We've heard it all before. The guy wanted to talk, so Barry let him. Must get lonesome round this place for you. Huh? No women. Oh, we got women locked down inside. I'm gonna be totally honest, this is the first part of the book I literally just do not want to even read this out loud. We went from like cheesy action film into Jacob's Ladder meets Ilsa She-Wolf of the FX. What the fuck is going on here?
Wow, that was dark.
Yeah. I'm sure it gets worse.
Yeah.
The guard chuckled. Yeah, I bet Mr. Morris was kind of pissed. Jack Morris is the guy that works with Barry Rivers.
It's so stilted that even when it has this reveal, it takes you a minute.
So, William Johnston, master of suspense, we didn't see it coming.
No,
indeed, we didn't see it go. Twist, it's not Linda. Don't watch, if you've not watched the first part,
don't watch it.
That's what we said was going to happen. We were right again. I guess I'm sort of down about the whole slimy matter. Gator steaks, also known as slimy matter. We'll lay over in South Carolina for 24 hours. Again, she shrugged. We've got the time, but it'll be crowding it. Why the layover? Because there is a 24-hour wait in South Carolina. A 24-hour wait for what, Barry? After we file for a marriage license. Yeah! It was an easy run down to Columbia. There, Kate and Barry filed for a license, saw the sights while they waited, then got married. That was the whole wedding! At the cafe in Georgia, Barry had called the terminal. All the drivers were there, sitting around drinking coffee, playing cards, killing time.
Well, at least they weren't killing women.
They took their thermos bottles of coffee and sacks of sandwiches to a table. Sacks? How many fucking sandwiches have they got?
Before you married Kate, who stood to inherit your money? My kids? You? Donna? Surprise sprang into Big Joe's eyes. Aren't you leaving out somebody? Who? Well, boy, your brother. Paul, that's who. Screw Paul. Paul dislikes my lifestyle, and I personally think he's flirting with communism. Or something very close to it. Yeah! The rig pulled into the roadside park area and quickly cut its lights. That ain't Frank, both men heard someone yell. Here comes the troops, Slim said. Barry lifted the Uzi and pulled the trigger, spraying the nearest car with lead.
Oh, thank God.
Shiny lifted his shotgun and began squeezing and pumping.
Then he started firing a shotgun.
These sons of bitches are crazy, a strange voice yelled. Shit on this. He lifted a pistol and shot the man in the belly.
Fire! Barry shouted, cutting loose with his Uzi. Hard gunfire cut the night as several of the peddlers of human flesh ran into the darkness, fleeing the firepower of the truck drivers. Montana joined the crowd, half dragging, half leading a man. This one just got a little burn on his head, he said. What do you want to do with him? I want a lawyer, the man said. Hog tie him and put him in the trailer.
I don't know how to hog tie people. What would I hog tie?
I got my constitutional rights, man, the flesh peddler said. I want my rights. Barry knelt down beside the hog-tied man. We can do this easy, or we can do it hard, Sam. I ain't telling you nothing, prick, Sam blustered. Barry's smile was savage, a brutal curving of the lips that held no semblance of mirth.
I don't think I like the look of you, Batman. From Joker.
Yeah.
Sam was dead. His face was contorted from that last moment of pain before his heart quit. Slowly, with pain-filled words, he had told it all.
Torture works!
Barry drove right up to the gates of the CSS station and honked his horns. Barry dropped the Peterbilt into gear and rammed the gates. They panicked, running in all directions, many of them screaming and yelling in fright. Both men jumped from the truck, Barry to the left, Slim to the right. All the fight seemed to have gone out of the guards. The director of this particular hellhole got to his feet, his face red, his hands trembling. Barry slapped him, rocking the man's head back and bloodying his mouth. "Please don't hit him again," a woman spoke. "Haven't you hurt him enough?" "Lady, and I use the term loosely, unless you want to spend the next 5 years visiting plastic surgeons, I want the keys to the cells, or wards, or whatever you people call your lockdowns." Barry jerked the keys from a belt around the woman's waist and unlocked the door. Barry walked to the door, opened it, and puked on the hall floor.
Barry slung his Uzi and pulled out his 9mm. He walked to a table where a husky was strapped down, wires implanted in the animal's head.
Dog's gonna get a dog!
Just dog. Barry was doing his best to fight back a terrible, wild rage building deep within him. Ooh, this is going to end bad for Miss Bradshaw.
Yeah.
I mean, that is horrific. Jesus Christ, Barry.
Fucking hell, Barry.
Barry turned and re-entered the torture chamber. He petted the husky's head and said, "Easy, girl. It'll soon be over for you." Oh no, he ain't getting a dog.
We got that bit out. It didn't get a dog after all.
Sorry, kids. If dogs and cats have a heaven, Barry thought. He went to every cage and table, ending each particular animal's suffering. I am
some guy tied down. No, it's okay, girl. You'll be in heaven soon. One thing I will say is it is picking up some. Not quite in the way we want it to.
No. Not in a way I saw coming. I did not see a scene where Barry
euthanized a warehouse full of dogs.
Miss Bradshaw moaned in her unconsciousness. Oh God.
Gonna kick her again.
He's gonna euthanize. Barry, Montana said, "These folks should be taken to a hospital." "I know, but where and how? Put them in my rig." Doolittle spoke from the doorway. His voice was choked with emotion. "Did the people who run these torture chambers really think their existing guards would be able to stop me?" Yeah, I'm sure they Barry-proofed the whole thing. They're like, one day some fucking millionaire Green Beret truck driver's gonna turn up and
kick Bradshaw's face off. Kill all our dogs.
"I don't know what in the hell I'm gonna do with you people," Barry told the small gathering of so-called doctors.
I think we know.
Miss Bradshaw lay on a couch, her broken jaw and busted mouth swelling grotesquely. "You'll all be provided with paper and pen. You will write out everything. You will name names, dates, and anything else you know. You will name dates."
Give them names. Give the dates names.
Barry stepped outside just as the sounds of trucks reached his ears. Kate swung down and into Barry's arms. "We offloaded just outside El Paso. Then we were told to come here." She does shit anywhere, doesn't she?
He gets back in his truck.
Just full of shit.
Plastered.
Plumes of dust were kicked up by fast-moving vehicles coming toward them.
The station's personnel locked down in the main building. Montana had gathered up the hastily written and signed documents and given them to Barry.
He's not even going to read the fucking shit that he got those people to write, is he?
Yeah.
Guaranteed you never hear of them again in the rest of the book. Guaranteed.
There were 5 men to a car, all heavily armed. One of the men held a cowboy hat in his hands. Barry recognised it. Doolittle had been wearing it when he pulled out for the nearest town with the sick and abused men and women. "Looks like we spoiled your party, Rivers. Where'd you get that hat?" "Took it off the head of a friend of yours, Rivers. He must have thought an awful lot of it. We had to kill him to get it." "And the men and women he had with him?" Barry asked. "Nobody has to worry about them anymore."
So he didn't actually save anyone then?
They're all dead.
They're all dead. Yeah, I mean that is the traditional trope of the hero, isn't it?
They fuck everything up. Montana lifted the muzzle of his shotgun and pulled the trigger, opening the dance. The buckshot tore half the man's face off and slammed him to the ground, his M16 dropping from suddenly lifeless fingers. Beer butted edge to the left side of the compound, Swamp Wolf to the right. They fired almost simultaneously, their shotguns roaring and belching flame and smoke and buckshot. 2 of the attackers spun around and attempted to duck behind one of their cars. Barry gave them a short burst from the Uzi, the 9mm slugs catching them in the back and spilling them forward.
Yay, he shot them in the back! Another thing I've noticed with Bill Johnson is that he'll just repeat the same like phrase in the same chapter over and over again?
Every time someone dies,
Yeah,
they
it's
call
the
it
hot
horror,
sound. Yeah,
the hot
yeah,
ground,
yeah.
the hot
So,
sound.
'cause you can't just keep using the same phrase over and over again to describe the same thing.
Yes, you can, Joe. We got 300 pages of it right here for you, buddy. She put a load of Magnum push shot into another's belly. If he survived, he would be eating baby food for a long, long time. Fire at the gas tanks! Barry yelled, his voice carrying over the din of battle. Blow the bastards to hell! Montana suddenly grinned at Barry and jumped to his cowboy-booted feet.
Jesus fuck! At this point, you don't have to tell us that they're wearing cowboy
Yeah, we
boots.
just take that as a
We know
given.
that-
Montana made it to his truck and opened the outside storage compartment. Red sticks began flying over the cab of the truck. Slim, Barry and Beer Butt each caught one and looked at each other, grinning. They were holding road flares. Hit the ground, Barry yelled. The fumes ignited and the cars blew, sending pieces of hot metal and bits and chunks and globs of human flesh all over the nearby landscape.
If this were written as like a parody, it would be spot on.
There's a very fine line between parody and laziness. And this is it. Inside the main office building, men and women were screaming in fright, begging for somebody to help them. They were smashing at windows. The building was blazing, set on fire from the flying bits of the... Oh no, he's gonna let them burn to death. Is this cowboy who sits in sugar cube? I don't know what that means, personally.
Cowboy who sits in sugar cube. What, like?
I don't know. That was no more than wishful. It says wistful thinking.
Wistful thing. Oh, I wish I had a cowboy sitting in sugar cube waiting on little old me.
That was no more than wistful thinking on his part, Jennings said. So we got Wayne Jennings. I'm just a cowboy who sits in sugar cube.
I'm a sugar cube cowboy.
What is happening? I know you cannot get the full impact of this, but honestly, every character in this book talks
just Bill
exactly
Johnson,
the same.
I mean, all of this is the sort of shit that you'd expect to be cut from a book. Nothing gels together, nothing works at all. It's really...
Shit.
Do you think he drafted this? Do you think there was a second draft? You know what I mean? Like, I know
Of
the
course
answer
he
to
didn't
that,
draft it. This is the draft right here.
Yeah.
What happens is he starts the day, he starts writing, and then he finishes writing, and then he publishes the book. But to think what an edge it would give us in combating crime, Weston argued his case. One man, with tacit government approval, with every conventional weapon known to exist at his fingertips, a fully equipped 18-wheeler.
He's going to be like the Punisher.
He's going to become Von Helton.
You say I'm not the Punisher? Fuck you. I've been the Punisher. I was a Punisher before Punisher was ever famous. I've had ghosts that come down the stairs and come right up to me and they're sitting there moving their lips and I'm like, what the fuck are you saying to me? You're a ghost.
You're all forgetting one little item. Barry won't have any choice in the matter. It's either accept the proposal or go to prison on a multitude of charges. He's in a box, boys. And we're the only ones who can untie the strings.
Box boys.
Yeah.
He's in a boy box.
Yeah. Stuffed him in that boy box. All the way down to the bottom of a boy hole. What would be his limitations? Stemker asked. That's the beauty of it all, Weston replied, leaning back in his chair and staring up at the ceiling. That'll be no limitations. The dog would be the judge, jury and executioner. It's almost poetic, boys. A snarling, foaming at the mouth, fangs-bared dog on the side of the law, roaming the highways, for the most part, picking his targets as his own choosing. Be kind of nice if he had a dog with him, Weston muttered. What the fucking shit is that?
I think
So we've got a man driving around in a truck, picking targets and killing them. Whilst roaming the back roads and highways of America. Does that sound like anything to you? We've just described fucking Otis Toole. This whole book is building to fucking Henry Lee Lucas becoming an FBI agent. Woo!
Barry, portrait of a serial killer. I'm
speechless.
Yes, that is. Yeah.
Look, she pointed. The mutt sat by the Kenworth as if it had found a home, but it did not wag its tail at their approach.
Barry's got a dog, and it just came out of nowhere.
That could not have just happened on its own, right?
I'm with you on the idea that that couldn't have just happened on its own. But how could the FBI have just...
Yeah, neither way.
Neither way could have happened. So they're hallucinating. They're hallucinating. That's what's happening. This is spirit animal. Yeah. It's going to be voiced by Johnny Cash.
The problem, Homer, is that the mind is always chattering away with 1,000 thoughts at once.
Yeah, that's me, all right.
Fucking rowdy Ronnie Reagan. I don't want anything to happen to innocent people, the president said. Women, children, the elderly. Any of those aforementioned who might be related to Barry Rivers had better be, in 2 hours, covered like a blanket. Yes, sir. The dog, the president muttered. I like it. Why not have something like, oh, Strike Force 1, the advisor suggested. Fuck Strike Force 1, the president said. Just call him the dog.
We love our dogs.
The best piece of equipment we have
is a dog.
The greatest equipment in the world is a dog. The dogs are better. We also have a lot of dogs, and they're great dogs, and we cherish them. Only the dog lovers would understand that.
Let's drink to the death of Ronald Reagan.
Oh, hell yes.
Fuck you, Ronnie. I hope you're burning in hell.
It's kind of... What am I trying to say, Barry? Kate asked. A downer, I guess. Anticlimactic? She grinned at him. Smart ass. He's literally referencing that his own book is anticlimactic. Barry did not return her smile. It isn't over, Kate. What do you mean? Too easy. Things like this don't end on a whimper. They end with a bang.
Fucking better.
He sighed. I don't know, but I've got a bad feeling in my guts, honey. You've got a bad feeling in his gut, honey. Maybe it's all them greasy hamburgers you've been eating, she said. Then laughed. Barry laughed with her, but he laughed only to conceal his doubts from her.
Newlyweds,
The trip back to New Orleans was uneventful. They paid absolutely no attention to driving time.
They paid absolutely no attention to driving. Hey, they killed dozens.
Back in his office, he dialed Fabrello's residence. What's wrong, Ted? Barry asked. God damn, I don't want you for an enemy. You're one of them high-principled people.
As he smashes that woman's jaw into splinters.
No, he literally isn't.
He's literally a travelling serial murderer.
Yeah, you might get it into your head to come after me. I wouldn't like that. Ted, will you please tell me what in the hell you're talking about? But he was talking into a dead phone. Curious, he muttered. Very, very odd. He told his father about the odd conversation with Fabrello. It's not an odd conversation. Fabrello's like, look, geez, you're a fucking lunatic and I don't want anything the fuck to do with you. Bye. Yeah. That is a normal reaction.
Get yourself fucked, Barry.
Kate had insisted that Barry buy a camper shell for his pickup so Dog would be more comfortable on the trip. Jesus, Barry said, you treat him better than you would one of our kids. It's an odd thing to say. That's an odd conversation. That's an odd conversation. They had just crossed the line into Virginia on the interstate when Barry felt the first hint of suspicion overtake him. He thought that was the car that had followed them out of New Orleans. Yesterday the car had been green. All day. Now there was that blue car. Again.
What?
Yesterday the car had been green, full stop. All day, full stop. Now there was that blue car. Again. Right, if that makes sense to anyone, can you please comment and just...
mail your answers on a
It came up fast. Barry tensed. The car passed them and rolled out of sight. He pulled into a motel a few minutes later. The next morning, after breakfast, they packed up, tossing the luggage in the back. Dog barked. Maybe he wants to go for a walk, Kate said. You take him. I'll warm up the truck.
Okay. Truck's going to explode.
Yes. Come on, Dog, Barry said. Time for you to do your business.
And both do it next to each other.
While Dog ran and sniffed, looking for just the right spot to mark, Barry heard the pickup's engine turn over, the motor firing. White hot heat struck him hard. He felt a warm stickiness running down his face. Blood.
Stickiness running down his jean legs.
Yeah.
Shit.
He's dead! Jack Morris almost screamed the words over the phone. The Green Beret bastard is finally dead. Paul Rivers sighed as a great weight was lifted from him. You're sure he's dead? Everyone is dead. Barry, Kate, even that stupid dog they found. Now we can move against the old man. All in time, Paul. First we grieve.
Yeah, let's pour out a little liquor for, show some fucking respect. Stuff in your fucking face. We're going to pour out a little liquor for Kate because she deserves it, because she was the best thing about this book.
Yep.
Barry Rivers got her killed. Bill Johnston, fuck you Barry and fuck you Bill. Kate.
Tip that shit over.
What's the FBI buy me a dog?
Barry opened his eyes, but he could not make them focus. His arms were strapped down because he had needles in both arms.
Oh, learn how to construct a sentence, Bill Johnson, for fuck's sake.
Dog! Kate! He strained against his bonds, but he was very weak. The doctors poked him, prodded him, checked his blood pressure and heart, and grunted several times. Somebody better fucking tell me something, Barry said. Take it easy, Barry, the shrink said. Let me see outside. The leaves on the trees were changing. Bushes and shrubs were beginning to take on a dry, brittle look. Yes, you've been in a coma for several months, Barry. Where is Kate buried? He stumbled over the word. Nyarland.
Nyarland is one word.
Yeah.
Nyarland.
Barry drank his soup, took his aspirin and asked for more soup. Such a wordsmith. It was brought to him, but surprisingly, he could not finish the bowl of soup.
Oh, fuck, what is this? What is this?
You've got literally like single-digit pages left and you're still wasting time.
Yeah.
As he drove the interstate system, he firmed up his plans and thought about his new life. He had met the president!
So we don't see that scene.
He had been impressed with the man, and he liked the man's bluntness. Country has gone to shit, Barry, the man said. Whose fault is that? You're the president! What the fuck? He used the payphone to call his old office, asking for Maggie.
Or Marie.
Or Marie.
Either would be fine.
He forgets. Barry forgets. He drove past the office just in time to see lard-ass Jack leaving. Barry followed him. Driving with one hand, he opened a brown paper sack on the seat beside him, taking out a .22 caliber semi-automatic pistol. You're on your own, dog, the president's words returned to him. You will never see me again, the president told him. Your contact is Jackson or Weston. I forget names. Barry said, if you need to contact me, get in touch with Maggie or Marie. I also forget fucking names. Jack looked up. Barry smiled. Hello, fat ass, Barry said.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Grow the fuck up.
What? Jack said, his eyes widening as Barry lifted the silenced pistol. Goddamn scum-sucking motherfucker, Barry said, then pulled the trigger. The pistol huffed 4 times, all 4 slugs taking Jack in the face. Barry drove to the private mental hospital. He met with the director and identified himself as an old family friend of Paul Rivers. Very tragic case, Mr. Rivera.
Oh, for fuck.
Literally a single letter.
Yeah.
Barry Rivers. Barry Rivera. I shall put this in layman's language, Mr. Rivera.
He's gone batshit mental.
He's eating his own shit. Paul Rivers sat in a rubber room, padded for his own protection. He slobbered and babbled and messed on himself. That's communists for you, eh? When did this happen? About 6 months ago. We don't know where he got the LSD. He'd been to Washington, D.C. for some kind of business meeting. Good old lard-ass Jack had struck again, but Jack's days at the plate were over. His mind is destroyed. Barry again looked at his brother. Paul blew spit bubbles at him, then I cannot believe I'm being made to read this by William W Johnstone. Paul blew spit bubbles at him, then squatted and shit on the floor. Maybe put trousers on him.
Yeah.
Did you think of that? He angled towards the northeast, crossing the river at Natchez, heading for the interstate at Brookhaven, heading for the unknown. You in the Kenworth, his CB cracked. You got a handle? Dog, Barry came back. Just dog.
That is not even a first draft.
No.
If you turn that into any editor as a first draft, you would be told in no uncertain terms to fuck yourself.
If you handed this into an editor, they would immediately take your life. Right, so I do think, like, in summation, we should absolutely stress that you should not buy or read this book.
No. I know there are people that see shit like this and think, oh, I fucking have to read that for myself. Because obviously we do cut a lot of it out in editing. But I fucking promise you, we do that for your benefit just as much as our benefit. And if you're still insistent upon it, if you really, really feel you have to read this, do not buy it from the publisher.
100% disclaimer, all of the books that we will be reading on this channel will have been bought secondhand.
Proudly.
Not a penny will go to the cunts that wrote them.
There's not really anything left to say about it. It's a piece of shit. It's written by a piece of shit. The main character's a piece of shit. Fuck you, William Johnston. Fuck you, Barry Rivers.
And fuck whoever you are, too. Because to be honest, right now, I don't even give a fuck. It's time to get rid of this shit. Say bye-bye.
Oh, this one is a good one. I like this one a lot.
So join us next time when we find out your true allegiance.
Everything dokey-dokey. That shelf ain't snooping around, so cook that moonshine down till it's good and clear. Everything dokey-dokey. That shelf hits you mess around with the devil and to get yourself long messing around in here. One day he was cooking some mash. He was almost done when he spotted the law and they had to run. So he headed for the swamp and they followed him in. But the law might as well have been chasing the wind. Look out for that snake, Sheriff. Well, they chased him on back through the muck and the slime, to the back of that swamp where the sun don't shine. But the law will never catch a gator, my friend, cause he knows that swamp like the back of his hand. Watch out for those smokies and the okey-dokey. The sheriff's out there snooping around.
My feelings on race relations
are entirely immaterial.
Are that for the past 200 years, the American people have conjoined
with each other
in a great quest for
harmony,
democracy, freedom,
cupcakes, crumbly candy bars. That's incredible, isn't it?
It's incredible, isn't it?
That a cretin such as
this
should become president of the United States.
Should become president.